Hello everyone, Pallytum here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. I am back from Vegas. I completely lost my voice by the last day. But I think it's all coming back, so we're going to try to record some today. This is going to be the start of my Heroes A to Z series. We're going to be playing through every character in the game in alphabetical order, and I'm going to give you a brief history of each character, talk about what they used to be like in the game, where they're at right now, and try to give you some advice on how to play them. First up, one of the most difficult characters in Heroes to play properly, because it can be played in so many different ways, we have Abathur. We're joined by Punisher JJE today, so it should be a pretty good game. I hope you all enjoy. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I need to look at my audio or I freak out. There we go. We are on the Dragonshire map today. The friendly team, Abathur, Muradin, Jaina, Zeratul, and Sylvanas. The enemy team, Thrall, Kael'thas, Leoric, Sylvanas, and Zeratul. So we should be expecting the Zeratul to try to hunt us down and kill us throughout the course of this game. I also just heard my voice and notice how weird it sounds right now. Man, I've never felt more attractive in my life. So, Abathur can build to heal his team, kind of. Abathur can build to split push like crazy, or Abathur can build to do a ton of damage with his top hat, with his symbiote. On this particular map, against this particular team, we're going to need to do a little bit of everything. We do not have a support. This is quick match. This is not some pre-formed thing. So we are going to go with regenerative microbes on our shield. So how does Abathur work? Well, essentially you never want to be in a fight ever. We lovingly call him the Slug. He has the lowest health in the game and basically does about 50 damage with his auto attacks tops. I mean, he's really not going to do much. How Abathur becomes effective in combat is when he uses others to do his bidding. For instance, you can see that I have a parasite, a symbiote, above the head of this Zeratul player. This is allowing me to cast spells from Zeratul's body. So it's called the symbiote. It's your Q ability. You only have two abilities when you're not in the symbiote. Your other is your mines that have a pretty long range, and you can just place them wherever you want to. If after a short time, if the enemy team walks on top of those mines, they are going to be taking some damage. Not a lot. It's mostly used for scouting. Although you can talent build for mines, I've never actually been able to successfully pull that off. So, when you do have a symbiote on a target, you have three new abilities. You have your stab, which is your Q. It's a medium range skill shot. You have your W, which is an AoE around your symbioted target. And then you have your E ability, which is a shield. The only reason this Zeratul player is still alive. Enjoy is the name of one of my best friend's brothers. It's fun. I don't think it's him, though. I think we've had this conversation before. Sylvanas is going to pick up the top lane. We're going to burrow on up there and try to secure this as well. So what I want this series to be is kind of an introduction for players, but also, you know, my normal stuff that I usually do. I also want to talk about the history of the characters. So what has Abathur been like historically? Well, for a very long time, he was considered one of the strongest characters in the entire game. I'm going to get top hat persists after, or the shield persists after the top hat dissipates. So we have this shield on Zeratul that's saving him. We can drop the top hat, the shield is going to remain, and then he's going to continue to be healed for quite some time. Historically, we're talking back in the alpha and the beta phases, and I believe a little bit after the game went live as well. Abathur was one of the strongest characters in the game, basically because of one of his heroic abilities. So Abathur has presence everywhere on the map, as I hope you could see. I've been helping out everywhere. I've been doing a little bit of everything. Who did we lose just now? We lost our Sylvanas up at the top lane. He has global presence, which has been very, very strong in the past. We did lose top. Is Jaina getting bottom? Let's try to help her. But at level 10, he used to only have one heroic ability, and that was the ultimate evolution. I'm being killed. Oh, it was from her W. The ultimate evolution... Oh, there's Zeratul. That's what I thought was killing me in the first place, and he is going to die for that. So he used his blink to get in, it looked like, and then didn't have any way to get out. You'll see all kinds of stupid shit like that happening to you on Abathur all the time. People just really want to kill you. I'm in the same boat. I always like to take down an Abathur when I have the chance to, but it doesn't mean it's always the best thing to do. Jane is going to be very low here. I hope she's okay. We can use our mount's ability, which is a burrow, to get down here very quickly. And I'm going to go with... Honestly, I think I'm going to go with a mule. This map is all about pushing. People get the objective, and then they push lanes. So we're going to get the mule. It's going to help us repair our towers and keep these things alive. So I'm going to finish a thought for once. The ultimate evolution used to be able to copy the ultimate of the target that you would use the evolution on. So for instance, if we used ultimate evolution on our Zeratul friend here, more than likely we would get ourselves a void prison. So imagine you new players having 2 void prisons in a single match, or 2 tranquilities from a Malfurion or something like that. Because of that, because it was so incredibly powerful, Abathur became basically a must-have on nearly every single team. Blizzard decided, you know, maybe this was a little overdone, and they did scale it back. We are going to pick up a kill on Leoric here, it looks like. Very good. They did scale it back. They basically made it so you do get the... Oh, that shield was so good. You do get all of the abilities for each target, but you do not get the heroic, so it did get scaled back a little bit. But Abathur historically did not have 2 ultimates. He got his second ultimate actually a little bit after the game launched, if memory serves. And his second ultimate is actually my favorite of the 2. It allows him to split push incredibly effectively. The enemy team's Zeratul, once again using his blink to dive in rather than using his blink to escape, is resulting in several deaths for him. Hopefully he figures out what he's doing wrong. We're going to go up and help our Sylvanas versus the enemy team Sylvanas. It looks like she has Envenom, and she is going to be able to take down her adversary. Punisher JJE, our friendly Muradin player, hiding in the bushes, trying to strike down the enemy team's Leoric. We are going to secure top. Can we secure bottom as well? Let's find out. 2 members are dead. Nope, Kael'thas is down there. We are probably going to go with Evolved Monstrosity. We're not going to get too much use out of it until a Dragonite actually happens, but it is my favorite ultimate out of the 2. Completely meaningless VP there. But hey, we picked up a kill regardless. Okay. Our Muradin now moving in on the enemy team, Salamia Shalanore. I see this being an incredibly easy kill. There we go. Right up to the tower. Punisher, faithful until the very end. This wall has been taken down. Sylvanas once again did lose top, so we can try to help her regain that. Basically, if you're playing Abathur, you need to have global vision at all times. Looking at your minimap is incredibly important. Noticing when your screen is flashing red, also incredibly important, because that means you're being attacked by someone. The silencing arrow going out from the friendly Sylvanas is going to be able to secure 2 kills with the help of myself and Zeratul. We can now put our Evolved Monstrosity up in the top lane. If you use this bad boy, he takes the place of a minion, and you get this big evolved monster. It's awesome. One technique is to use it on the mage minion in the lane, so you're basically denying the enemy team a regeneration globe. Not super important against this team we're going up against, because none of them picked up any talents that stack with regeneration globes, except for Kael'thas, who is in the bottom lane. So, you know, our pick there didn't really matter. One thing I could be doing better is just trying to position around minions a bit more. Can we save her? I don't think so. I do not think... Oh, she's just out of range of the skeletal swing, though, or whatever the fuck his level 10 ability is called. She is going to be taken down by the wolf, however. Zeratul still chasing down Leoric, is going to be able to grab it. Grab it, grab it, grab it. We are losing top right now, so he only has a couple moments to take this, and he is going to be interrupted at the last possible second by the enemy team. Very, very close. So one of the concepts I really want to drive home with you guys, if you are looking to play Abathur, looking to pick up Abathur, look at this exemplary Muradin play here. Going in for body blocks, not just attacking the target, but moving in front of him, so the target has to move around him. That's how you play tanks, ladies and gentlemen. That right there. One of the things I want to really drill home, and it's not really something I've been doing a lot of just because of the way this match has been going. You can see my XP contribution is not bad, but ideally, if you're playing a perfect Abathur, your XP contribution should be #1 on the team. How do you accomplish that? Well, quite simply, your symbiote, when it kills a minion, or when your symbiote is near a minion that dies, it essentially counts as a body. What does that mean? Well, if Abathur is by a minion that dies, just like any other hero in the game, obviously you generate EXP. If your symbiote is also by an enemy that dies, another completely wasted void prison, hopefully we can capitalize on this. If your symbiote is by a target that dies, it counts as if it's your body as well. So you're able to generate a ton of XP. I could put my body here. We do need to save this tower. But essentially I could put my body here by these minions that are dying, and then put my symbiote up top, and I would be generating XP in 2 locations for our team. Now, that is a different play style than what you've been seeing so far. I've been trying to help my team out with these engagements as much as I can. But another thing that comes into play with Abathur is the fact that, finally we get a Dragon Knight, very nicely done. Another thing that comes into play with Abathur is the fact that you also generate XP from your locus. Now this one's a little bit different because the XP only counts if you last hit the enemy with your locust. It counts as a spell basically. So you can see these I may not be getting XP for, but when you go for ranged locusts and you're able to spawn multiples of them at one time, you are able to generate a lot of XP from that. Now if we wanted to do some extra stuff, we could just go up here to the top lane. We would just want to hang out by this stuff. As they are killing these minions, we'll generate XP for our team. As these are killing things, we're going to generate XP from our team. And then theoretically, in a perfect world, we could put our symbiote middle and again be generating XP. And just like that, I was able to go from meh XP contribution to almost #1 on our team. So those are the kinds of concepts that you always want to be thinking about. I feel like I do them okay. You know, I definitely don't do it extremely well, but I do them all right. We are going to just shield our Jaina here. Remember, we have the talent that extends the shield out a little bit longer. And again, Abathur is one of those characters that can really build to fit any situation for his team. He can help them become a better person. He's the master of evolution, or whatever his title is. I don't quite remember off the top of my head. But that title really does fit his gameplay, his decision making. We're just going to spawn some locusts here. We're kind of waiting on the minion wave to get here that hasn't quite arrived yet. Let's go ahead and protect this locust. We don't have a ton of defenses up here in the top, so we just want to make sure they stay alive a little bit longer. Looks like there was an engagement in the middle, but the enemy team did back out. With all the XP contribution that our team has been generating and the enemy team has been generating, we are 3 levels ahead of the enemy team right now. Luckily, Leoric did not see me dip down there into the bush. Gonna go ahead and top hat our Muradin. Tanks are phenomenal targets for top hats, especially tanks with hard engage. Muradin pretty good at engaging with that dwarf toss. He's able to get in there and do work really easily. So by symbioting him, essentially we know that our tower for our spells is always going to be in range. Beautiful silencing arrow thrown out by our Sylvanas, but are we gonna be able to pick up the kill? I think we are, actually, as long as she doesn't sippy cup. Yeah, we just got it. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. Dragon Knight is going to come up in 30 seconds. We can go ahead and slug our way down here. So I like to use the Evolved Monstrosity. I don't like to just throw it out there. If you just throw it out there, it doesn't necessarily get a lot done. I like to use it when the enemy team is distracted by something else, which is why I picked it on this map, because obviously when the Dragon Knight is up, the enemy team is going to be focused on that Dragon Knight very much. That is going to be their key focus. So we can use the Evolved Monstrosity to push another lane while the enemy team is so incredibly focused on the lane that the Dragon Knight is in. We're just going to teleport up top now. We did take the bottom shrine. We're gonna slug our way up here. I am gonna spawn the Evolved Monstrosity here just because we need a little help in the lane, keeping these guys away from the towers. And I'm on the control point right now, and I'm taking over. This stuff. Got it. Cool. So I was not taking over the control point while I was in symbiote. Because, you know, Punisher JJE, the best player in the whole world, laying down the knowledge. And then we're just going to back up, back to safety. Zeratul recapping bottom. The enemy team very heavily reinforcing the middle lane. We're going to try to help out our Punisher again. But it doesn't look like he wants to chase that too far. Can't say I blame him. Sylvana is in a bit of trouble right now as well. We'll go ahead and start healing her with the top hat. Looks like she wants to engage again, but she needs to be careful where she engages from. There we go. Very nicely done. Murd in perfect position to cut off the enemy team Sylvanas, and it looks like we are going to be able to do a ton of damage to this enemy team. Thrall now focusing our poor little Sylvie Bay. She's going to be just fine, though. I am going to pick up Locust Nests at level 20. This is going to allow me to do a bit more siege damage, a bit more split pushing. And speaking of split pushing, we are now going to head down to the bottom and get this all set up, get this pushing in the right direction. So this, before, these last 3 talents I picked up used to be known as the cheesy backdooring split pushing Abathur. This was very, very prominent, but I believe soon after the game was released. What you would do is get the ranged locust, be able to spawn as many as you can, and then also get the health increase at level 1. And your locust essentially could push anything. If the enemy team did not respond, you could just fucking go to their core and spawn all of these things, and they would begin to push the core down. And there was nothing, and I mean nothing, the enemy team could do to stop it unless they left the battlefield, went back to their base, and dealt with it. So essentially, you were taking someone out of the fight, guaranteed to take them out of the fight, and then you were also getting guaranteed siege damage from complete safety. You would basically burrow in and then recall. They did fix that. They reduced the range of those guys a little bit. I believe they also nerfed the damage a little bit too. But as far as split pushing goes, they're still one of the best options for Abathur. As you can see, as this fight is going on, we're split pushing up here. All of these locusts are getting last hits because we've hit the late game and they do a ton of damage. And we are the #1 generator of XP, I believe, in the entire game now, which again is keeping our team ahead of the enemy team, allowing us to press this advantage and do things that only Abathur can do. Now we can go middle to continue to generate that EXP, or I can cancel my burrow at the last possible moment. Remember, we have locusts pushing up top. We have a nest spawning those locusts, and then we can push here for that additional XP. We don't need the symbiote here. The symbiote just kind of helps it move along. All we had to do was have our body there, and it would get the full effect. Now, Punisher really wants this camp, it looks like. Can we? Oh, no. Worth. Alright, so top's pushing very well. We can spawn an evolved monstrosity up there. We're going to deny a regeneration globe, even though it comes on the ground, so I guess that's been patched out as well. Let's help our Murd and take this over. Our evolved monstrosity is pushing top, generating XP for our team. We can go down here and spawn some locusts that'll push, generating more XP for our team. Essentially, you're not as good as the Vikings, but you should always be thinking about XP no matter what you're doing. Murden walking in, we're going to help him out. The shrine should be active again pretty soon. We've been in a pretty dominant position for the majority of this game, but the friendly team is starting to catch up in levels, now sitting just below level 20. We're going to spawn some locusts and try to bait this guy into coming in and attacking me. He did stay for a little bit too long and is going to be taken down by our Jaina. Jaina, now feeling the rush of adrenaline, is going to dive straight after Kael Thas. And with the help of Murden, who already regenerated nearly all of his HP, he is going to be able to take her down. Now, I could have done a little bit better with the mule there, helping out up top, keeping that alive. Really, I could be doing a lot better with the mule in general. Probably could have saved some towers. The enemy team actually not able to push too much, but I definitely could have saved a structure up there with a mule. Go mid, I'll get bot. Oh, I'm already here. I lost track of where my character was. Jaina already in middle. We are going to get a very quick cap on this Dragon Knight. Murden running into some Leoric trouble down here. I guess the biggest learning curve for Abathur is just understanding that you have to look everywhere. You have to be everywhere. You can't just focus on one thing. Even if you built for one specific scenario, you have to always be looking at every little advantage you can take, you can exploit to essentially push your team to victory. As you can see, I'm trying to split push in every lane. I have Locus bottom, I have my Symbiote middle, and I have the Involved Monstrosity top with our Sylvanas. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you have to do. Though you can build to buff the shit out of the attack speed of a friendly hero, which is something you would do if an Illidan is on your team, or if a Butcher is on your team. You can really take that character and just push them up to the next level, allowing them to be the best version of themselves imaginable. Abathur can do all of that. He does it all very well. Very, very well. We do need to heal up our Jaina. I also need to be very attentive of the mini-map right now, as the enemy team could be moving in on me very easily. I think I'm just going to spawn these locusts and then peace out. Sylvanas might know we're here. Is the silencing arrow going to come out? No, she does not react. She does not react. All right, we're going to top out our Muradin. Keep him in here. We're going to focus down the enemy team's Thrall. Muradin standing in the Phoenix of the enemy team's Kael'thas, giving no shits. No shits given today. We are going to be able to take down Thrall. Very good VP is actually going to stop this Kael'thas from retreating too much farther, and we should be able to take him down no problem as well. The Singularity Spike going to ensure that kill. Now what we can do is, we did have a Locust Nest here, but it was killed. How's this doing? All of our structures seem to be relatively okay. We'll go ahead and use our Mule there just to say that we did. And we probably need to heal up our Jaina a little bit. Looks like Muradin a little bit too far is going to be taken down. Is there much we could do there? No, I don't really think so. So we're going to go bottom. And all of a sudden, if we go ahead and look at XP contribution, you can see that we are starting to leave the pack behind. Once we started to focus on the split pushing a little bit more, it really did elevate our team. As far as levels go, we're staying ahead. Even though we're starting to feed a little bit, we're staying ahead on XP because of the split pushing work of Abathur. The friendly team is taking over the bottom giants. The enemy team doing the same thing, however. The shrines should be active again pretty soon. Pretty soon. This push is going relatively well. I wanted to position my character up in the top lane, but because the shrines are going to be up soon, I kind of didn't want to. Our Zeratul is going to be able to pick up a kill on the enemy team. Zeratul, no problem. We do need to try to heal him back up again. The top hat shield does have the healing talent, but it's not going to be a ton of healing. Think of it as a constant regeneration glow, basically. That's how I look at it anyway. We're not going to attack until our Zeratul does, because we... Oh, very good VP. Because we don't want to reveal him when he's not ready to be revealed. But once he jumps in on a target, we are going to help him immediately. I can try to make my way up top really quick. We do have... Oh, the enemy team's up there. So we're just going to cancel my burrow. And I might actually get the Dragon Knight just to be funny. That might be a thing that I do right now. It might cost us the game. But you know what? That's okay. We can totally bait really hard here, though. We can be like, look at me, I'm Abathur, come get me. This works 90% of the time. We could probably make something happen. Oh, they actually totally backed off. Okay. The Phoenix is going to delay it just a little bit. Thrall going in with the Sunder. Thrall, you're going to be able to do it. You're going to be able to do it. Oh, yeah, Thrall's really fast. Thrall's going to be able to do it. I was so brave, though. I was so brave. Yeah, that was dumb. Don't do that. I hope that doesn't cost us the game. I'd feel really upset. I could have juked around Kael'thas for a while. I could have. VP is actually going to save Jaina there. I believe it was a friendly VP. Yeah, it was a friendly VP. Very nicely done. His VPs were a little shaky in the early game, but as the matches has continued, it's gotten a lot better. Don't say sorry. I was being dumb. Okay, so they are taking the bottom shrine, but we are able to grab the Dragon Knight right before that happens. Sorry if my energy's fallen off. My throat doesn't hurt at all, but I still am like super drained from Vegas. For those of you that don't know, I have a sinus disease, so being in humid climates is really good for me. The day I left Florida, it was 91% humidity. When I got to when I got to Vegas, at the time that I landed, it was 5% humidity, and my body just didn't know how to deal with it. And I had a headache the entire event. I had a nosebleed for the majority of the event too, and lost my voice very early on, and I couldn't get it back. And it's just now starting to come back, and it's been a few days since the event has passed, so you know, that's really fun. So while the enemy team is distracted, we're going to push bottom really hard here. We're going to push it all the way up to core. We have a lot of siege minions with us. We have some catapults. We have the evolved monstrosity who's going to be able to come in here and do a ton of damage. So as we are actually starting to kill the enemy team, we're going to be able to do a very significant amount of siege damage if they do not react. And as we are pushing up, we're just going to continue to move our locusts up as well. 4 members of the enemy team are dead. So here we want to actually take our evolved monstrosity and move it away from the pack a little bit. Oh no, what happened? Did you miss? Oh no, did you miss? Oh no, what happened? Is that a mine under you? What are you going to do with that mine though? Oh fuck. Well, our push went pretty well, but they did respond to it. Unfortunately, most of the friendly team is dead. So they weren't able to push in with us. I'm just going to recall really quick. Get out of harm's way. We're beginning to do some meaningful core damage. I just feel like this game has gone on a little bit too long. We probably could have pushed in for the win maybe 5 minutes ago, honestly. I'm kind of I don't know what the word is. I'm kind of disappointed the game hasn't ended already. But you know what? That's okay. We still have a lead on XP. It's not as strong as it could be. Remember, guys, Heroes of the Storm does have an underdog mechanic. What does that mean? If we're ahead on XP and one of our friendly team members dies, the enemy team gets significantly more XP for that kill than they would otherwise. So if you ever go into quick match and you see these people saying that, oh, well, we're level 3 and the enemy team's level 5, fuck it, GG. You know, that is just the absolute wrong mentality to have. I may be going into my death here. I thought Sylvanas was top. She is. She doesn't see me yet though. So we're just gonna leave. Looks like there's a pretty big fight for the shrine down here. We're gonna put our top hat once again on our friendly Muradin. Muradin's gonna be able to completely stun lock Thrall in there, keep him from leaving. Sylvanas did manage to clear out our split push already, but while she's top, we can put our evolved monstrosity middle and have that pushing. Now we want to heal up our allies a little bit, so there's a top hat for our Zeratul. Here's a top hat for our Sylvanas, and also help her take this camp over. The evolved monstrosity was taken down again by Sylvanas. It is worth mentioning that Sylvanas is really good at countering this strategy. So is Azmodan, because they're just able to... Oh, what a good ice block. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be enough. Ice block does get rid of your symbiote. You should be very aware of that. You do have to recast your symbiote on a target if they do ice block. Oh, that would have been great if she didn't actually teleport back to it. She could have gotten away so easily. Dude, our team is just... Our team's getting way too separated. They're trying to do too many things at one time. Whatever, we'll just keep pushing. We'll try to make this work. Everyone's just kind of trickling into these fights. Alright, Muradin once again with the top hat is going up against the tank killer. A VP is going to allow them to disengage, and unfortunately it looks like we're not going to be able to do any more core damage. This is excruciating how long this has been going on. I'm going to get top. Let's just tunnel up there. Oh shit. Kilthos is here. Get middle. Get middle. Fuck. Yeah, Sylvanas is crazy good at countering the split push of Abathur. In a video I did a while ago where I was trying out some Abathur things, we had a Nova, we had a Zeratul, we had an Azmodan and a Sylvanas on the same team going up against my Abathur. It was infuriating. People are like, oh my god, please don't ever play Abathur again. You don't even know what you're doing. The enemy team's going to get Dragon Knight, so we're going to mine that up a little bit. We need to get one of these shrines very quickly. We can kind of poke and interrupt here, but it's not going to last for long. And that's going to be a very strong late game Dragon Knight pushing into our base. So what are we going to do? We're going to go back here. Hopefully Sylvanas is going to be distracted enough, and we could just get this push going. And this will do some core damage, hopefully. We do need to use our mule here. We've been sitting on this mule the entire game, and they just have not been pushing, so we need to start using that now. We're going to drop it down. It's going to start to repair these structures and hopefully keep our base pretty healthy. We do take down the enemy team's Leoric. This push is going relatively well, actually. But they were able to take down the keep with very little effort because late game Dragon Knights do over 1,000 damage a swing. Looks like we are going to be able to kill the enemy team's Kael'thas, the Dragon Knight trying to deal hero damage rather than siege damage. He is going to get through the shields here, but I don't think he'll get too much farther. One thing our Zeratul could do here is actually Void Prison our core to keep that alive a little bit longer. Something he... Oh, fuck, cancel that, Burrow. Something he wasn't doing, but could have done very easily. And you could just see the Sylvanas for the enemy team is doing such a good job of stopping our push. Can we push? Push, please. All on core, like now. Go in the game. Please. This has gone on way too long. All together. All to get her. We're already splitting up a little bit. So bottom's looking really healthy. We need to stop Sylvanas from killing it all. We're going to poke at her with the top hat. Hopefully these catapults will stay alive. We have 8 seconds until Kael'thas spawns. Please go win the game. Please go win the game. We're going to burrow in here, and we're going to be able to do some damage as well. He should put a Void Prison down on their well. This is the enemy team's Leoric's Void Prison, obviously. One thing we could do is drop a mule on our core while this is going on. The friendly team clumping up way too much, and the enemy team was able to respawn and deal some very meaningful damage to them. Another VP that I don't understand the point of is going to be put down. I feel like people are panicking a little bit right now. I feel like people are panicking a little bit right now. And it's showing. It is for sure showing. We are going to do some core damage. While this is going on, our core is healing with the mule. We're going to be able to put another one down in 30 seconds. So theoretically, we should be able to get our base up to 100%. I agree, this is stupid. This game should not be going on this long. My voice is not ready for this. It's starting to fade. Voice is starting to fade. We've done 200,000 siege damage. Okay, that's a high number. So, what do we want to do? We can go down here. Maybe. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuckity fuck. And they got dragon. And they got dragon. Several members of the friendly team still dead. Were not able to defend. We could get this pushing again. I don't know how much it's going to do. We have another mule on our core. We're going to try to keep it healed. VP the core. Make sure he knows that he can do that. Alright, we have to focus the Dragon Knight now. Everyone else doesn't matter. Zeratul in the middle of everything is going to be focused. And it looks like that's going to be a good game. Well, you can't win all of them. I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. The reason we lost this game was quite simply every opportunity we had to push, no one was taking it. We were grouping up as a team with several members of the enemy team being dead and not doing anything with it. Like, we would go and get a mercenary camp when we could be taking out forts and keeps and structures. Quite simply, that is the reason we lost. Also, the enemy team Sylvanas was doing a great job of playing defensively and countering all of the pushing that I was doing, which is exactly what you want to do. I don't know what he was talking about. But that is Abathur in a nutshell. I feel like I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. I feel like I showed his capabilities of split pushing and a counter to his split pushing, which is always important. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. In the next episode, we will be taking a look at a new Barak. Fan favorite from a while ago that doesn't see much play these days. So it should be pretty interesting. Thank you all for watching. Oh, excuse me. I hope you enjoyed. I need to rest my throat for a little bit. and then I'll knock out another episode. See you all next time. Okay, bye!